The Zookeeper's Wife, directed by Nikki Caro, is based off the true story of the Warsaw Zoo in Poland. Jan and Antonia Zabinski ran the zoo and also lived there. When the Nazis flooded Poland, the couple decided to keep their basement a haven to the Jewish people in danger. Though this actually happened in real life, the movie does include some fiction. For instance, in this film, to gather up more Jews to bring them to safety, Jan traveled into the ghetto with a truck and hid them in the back, putting scraps of food on top of them so they were covered. Unfortunately, in real life, this plan could never work because while leaving the ghetto, the Nazis would have heavily searched the truck. Another fictional scene was the paintings of the Star of David. While hiding in the Zabinski's basement, the Jewish people passed time by coloring and painting the walls. While doing this, they ended up painting the Star of David tons of times all over. In reality, this didn't happen because the Jewish people were strictly told to leave no traces of themselves whatsoever. The movie did not do the Zabinskis enough credit. In 2017, there was an interview with their daughter, Teresa. She explains how much her parents really helped.
Dla wielu ludzi, nie tylko zresztą Żydów, dlatego że tutaj znaleźli schronienie, na przykład działacze podziemia, którzy byli w zagrożeniu po zamachach, byli tu również.
The movie also contains the real-life character Lutz Heck. In an interview, the actor Daniel, who plays Lutz, explains his role with the Zabinski family.
At first, we get to know him as a friend, a charming, very intelligent friend of this couple. It changes after the occupation of the Germans, because then he changes and it becomes, obvious that he is supporting the Nazi party.
Unfortunately, as you can tell, Lutz becomes a supporter of the Nazi Party during this film. However, another thing that happened during the film that didn't actually happen in real life is the supposed romance between Antonina and Lutz. Towards the middle and end of the film, Lutz tries to take advantage and be a villain towards Antonina and the rest of the family, trying to manipulate her into doing things with him. This so-called romance is completely fictional, except for when mentioned in Antonia's diary. She just says that he was always extremely kind to her, and it was nothing more than that. In the film, Antonina helps a Jewish woman by dyeing their hair blonde before letting them free. Historical-wise, it is true that Hitler preferred a blonde hair and blue-eye race, but in the movie, the dye turned out wrong, frightening Antonina that she would get caught and more Jewish women would be killed because of it. Over the course of World War II, 300 Jews lived with the Zabinskis. Unfortunately, like what was shown in the movie, 2 were killed, Rose and her mother. The Nazis found them after they moved out and began living their life in a boarding house. The last fictional piece is the character Ursula. She was found by Jan when Nazi soldiers were sexually abusing her. Unfortunately, at first, Ursula was extremely timid and scared of everyone there.
Yeah, he was about your age.
Though Ursula's story is sad, there's no actual evidence that she was a real person, though I'm sure that there are many out there who share her story. Despite some of the fiction, this movie does do a good job of telling the story of the Zambiskis.